Good morning, children. Today we are going to study chapter data handling. So you should first of all know what is data. Data is basically the information. Information like how many children are there in your class whose weight is below 30 kg, or how many children are there whose weight is in between 30 kg to 50 kg. Okay, this kind of information, if you collect this kind of information, it is called data. Clear? Like how many the pocket money and the number of children, like how many children are there who get pocket money between rupee 100 to rupee 500, rupee 100 to rupee 200. How many children are there who get the pocket money between rupee 200 to 300? Okay, these kind of this kind of information is basically known as data. Clear? And this is very small example which I have taken, but it has a vast meaning, because you must have seen when they calculate the population. Okay, when they calculate the population, basically, then you must have seen they noted down how many people are there in your family who are below 18 years, how many people are there who are above 18 years. Okay, so all this is a big data. Big companies, mobile companies also, they serve the data, they collect the information. So everything which is collected in this manner, it is known as data. Clear? Up to collect data, how many methods are there? We can companies, or even you can also conduct interviews. You can schedule questionnaires, observation, projective techniques, or case studies can also be there. Can also be used as the methods of collecting data. When data is collected, it is very raw and unorganized. Like if I ask you how many children are there in our school who are whose age is below 12 years, so you will collect, there will be number of children who will be of 10 years, whose age will be 10 years. Maybe there are 50 children you will found who will be of whose age will be 10 years. Okay, there will be 70 children whose age will be 12 years. Are you getting it? So it will be very raw and unorganized. When you organize the data properly, then it becomes the information, or we use the term information for that. Clear? Data is very raw and unorganized, but when we when we organize it, how can we organize? We can write it in a tabular form. You can make a table for it. So sometimes data is given in a tabular form, so it is already a grouped data. We have basically two types of data. One is grouped data and the other is ungrouped data. Grouped data is already given in a form of a table, as you can see here on the screen, that favorite fruit and number of people. So in the first column it is written apple. So apple is liked by 35 people. Oranges are liked by 30 people. Banana is liked by 10 people. Kiwi is liked by 25 people. Blueberry is liked by 40 people. And grapes is liked by 5 people. Okay, so this is a piece of information because it is already organized. Fine. But what if you have a ungrouped data? Then how will you manage? How will you make a table? Okay, this is there in the exercise, in first exercise, which you will study 19.1. So I have taken very small example, very easy example. Suppose in a survey of a locality, you have gone, you have visited the flats, you have visited the houses which are there in your locality, and you have simply asked the people that how many rooms are there in your house. So basically you have collected the data from 20 flats or 20 houses just to find out how many rooms they have. Clear? So data is very unorganized. You can see first house you went, there were 4 rooms. In the second house where you visited, it had only 1 room, and the next has 2 rooms, and next to next has 3 rooms, and so on. So how will you organize it? First step is to arrange it in ascending order. As you can see, so many ones were there, they are arranged. Okay, so many twos were there, they were arranged. Then threes are arranged, then fours are arranged, then fives are arranged. After arranging them in ascending order, you should always count. Like if you count this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so it is 20. But you should go on the question also. Match whether you had been given 20 observations or not. Because sometimes when we write in ascending order, we skip 1 or 2 data. Are you getting it? So you should always count total number of observations after writing them in ascending order. Now, what is it? How many things are involved in it? You are basically talking about 2 things: number of houses which you have visited and number of rooms. Clear? So what is fixed? Number of rooms are fixed. Like how many houses are there in which we can have 1 room? How many houses are there in which we can have 2 rooms? How many houses are there in which we can have 3 rooms? How many houses are there in which we can have 4 rooms? How many houses are there in which we can have 5 rooms? But number of houses can vary. Maybe in your locality, there are 4 houses in which only 1 room is there. But in my locality, I visited and I found that there are 7 houses in which only 1 room is there. Clear? So the thing which is fixed should come on first column. So I have written number of rooms. Okay, and below that 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And the central column is for telemarks. I'll tell you what is telemark. And then the next one is number of houses, means how many houses are there. So when you talk about how many, it is basically frequency. Clear? You have already studied this in class 7th, but we are revising. Okay? So if we count, how many houses are there in which we have only 1 room? 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, before writing the frequency, what we write? We write the telemarks. Telemarks are basically the single lines. It is pictorial representation which early man used to do it. You must have seen the pictures that in the caves they used to draw the lines and then they used to count. So very old method of counting basically. Clear? So I have drawn 4 lines. 4 lines means number of houses are 4. And then how many houses are there in which we have 2 rooms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 houses in which we have 2 rooms. Clear? So how we'll do it? Telemarks will be written like that. 1, 2, straight line, 3rd straight line, 4th straight line. And the 5th line is slant line. You can see very light blue line is there which is slant. Okay, so that is 5th line. And then one more single 6 line. We'll have a bundle of 5, 5 basically. Clear? And in a similar manner, we have done that. So we have made a table like this. Fine. But what if the data is very big? Okay. Here the rooms were 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Very easy to calculate. Very easy to note it down. But if you have very big data, how will you do it? For large data. One more example I have taken. Let us suppose the pocket money of 25 students in a class is given in rupees and it is per week. Okay. And first person says that, first student says that 49. The second one says that 35. And the third one says that 22 rupees he gets per week. Okay. And the fourth one says that I get 27 rupees per week. Are you getting it? So first thing what should be there? You should arrange them in ascending order. I have not written here, but you should, first thing, you have to arrange the data in ascending order. And this method of arranging data in ascending order or in descending order is known as data array. Fine. You must have studied this word in computers also. Clear? So what we do not write a single number over here. Are you getting it? Okay, we take a range. So basically this range, how will you take the range? As you can see, the smallest number of all these, as I can see, it is 11. The smallest one is what? 11. Clear? Okay. And the highest, as we can see, what is the highest? Highest observation is 49, I guess. Clear? So what is the range of this data? Range of this data is 49 minus 11. Highest observation minus lowest observation. Clear? Why we have looked for a smallest data, smallest number? Because because this you have to assume yourself. So this range, when you are going to pick up, that smallest number should come into it. Okay. So I have taken the ranges like 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, then 30 to 40, then 40 to 50. What does this mean? It means that the number of children who are getting the pocket money starting from rupee 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and rupee 19, they will be counted in this block 10 to 20. They will be counted in this block 10 to 20. 20 will not be counted here. 20 will be accepted in the next one. 20 to 30, how many observations will be counted? We will start from 20, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We will stop at 29. We will not count 30. Because if you will count 30 over here also and over here also, then a particular observation will be counted twice. So what we do not count the upper limit. Okay, upper limit means the last number and the first number is known as lower limit. So upper limit is not counted. Okay, we'll count if it is 10 to 20, then we'll count from 10 to 19. And the gap should always be same. Means if you have taken 10 to 20, then the next one should be 20 to 30 only. It cannot be 20 to 25. Because if you take 20 to 25, then gap will be 5. And in the first one, you have taken the gap of 10. Okay, so the gap should be same. And this gap is basically known as class size. And 10 to 20, 20 to 30, all these things are known as class intervals. They are known as class intervals. So if we count this way, so you have to see 11, one observation. Okay, 10 to 20, how many will be there? 11, you should cut 11 with a pencil. 13, you should cut 13. You should cut 12. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 we have got. Any other till 19 which I have skipped? You can see. Yes, one more 12 is there. So that can also be cut. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 observations under this class interval. 10 to 20 is class interval. Under this, we have 4 observations. So frequency becomes 4. Okay, or number of students. Likewise, 20 to 30, when we will count, we will start from 20 and we'll end at 29. So this way, if we'll do, we'll have 10 students. Are you getting it? You should see from here. Like 22 will come in this category, 27 will come in this category, 27 will come in this category, 25, 27 again, 13 will not come, 36 will not come, 25 will come. Likewise, 29 will come, 22 will come, 28 will come. This way if we'll do it, okay, so number of students will be 10, frequency will be 10. So this is how we make the table. Now I'll tell you how to draw a bar graph. So bar graph is basically, first of all, we have one horizontal line and the other is vertical line. horizontal line, all these things will be done on the graph paper. Okay, not on your register page. It will be done on the graph paper. So this horizontal line is x-axis, this vertical line is y-axis. For bar graph, you have to represent the fixed number or fixed names of fruits or year. Okay, fixed values will be represented on x-axis and the frequency will be represented on y-axis. Like how many people are there who like apple. So suppose there are 35 people. So we'll draw a rectangle like that. But before that, here you have to take a proper gap like 1 centimeter. We start from 0 and after 1 centimeter 5. Then again after 1 centimeter 10. Then again after 1 centimeter 15. If you will do it on the graph paper, the complete block is of 1 centimeter only. So you have to, all the adjacent blocks will be 0, 5, 10. This way you can write it down. On the x-axis, you have to take a proper gap. Like if from 0 and from this where you have started the bar of apple, this is 1 centimeter. So after the apple bar should also be 1 centimeter broad. And then gap should again be 1 centimeter. Then orange bar should also be 1 centimeter broad. Then again you have to leave one block which is 1 centimeter. Okay. And these are the frequencies, like 35 people like apple, and oranges if we read, 30 people like oranges. Banana, 10 people like banana. So gap should be proper for x-axis, and for y-axis it has to be same. Okay, uniform. Like if we start from 0, you can take 0 to 10. Then 0 to 10, after 10 it should be 20. So gap should be same. You can take 0 to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, you can take it. I have taken this because there are questions in which you have to read the graph. So how will you read the graph? You will read like that. For apples, you will draw the line this way. What is coming over here? 35. So how many people are there? Sorry, this is quantity of fruits in kg. So apple is how much kgs? 35 kg apple. Likewise, for oranges we have reached here. If bar graph is already given and you have to read it, then you will drop a line like that. You will draw a line with the help of the scale. What is coming here with the arrow? 30. So there are 30 kgs of oranges. You can see they have written x-axis over here, y-axis over here. Fine? Clear? There is a column bar graph also. Are you getting it? Means what if we write names of fruits on y-axis and the frequency is represented on x-axis? What will happen? See, the same thing. Names of fruits are written over here on y-axis and the number of people are written here who like the fruit. So it is done in a similar manner. Whatever we were doing on the x-axis have to be done over here. After 1 centimeter, then a grapes bar is of 1 centimeter broad. Then you have to leave again 1 centimeter. Then blueberry bar should be 1 centimeter broad. Are you getting it? And number of people, when we are writing, first one is 0. And then after 1 centimeter, 5. Then after 1 centimeter, 10. Then after 1 centimeter, 15. So we are taking uniform gap, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, and they are equidistant also. We are taking proper gap, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, because 20 minus 15 is 5, 15 minus 10 is 5, 10 minus 5 is 5. So this is the proper gap, and they are equidistant also. Means distance between 0 and 5 is 1 centimeter. Distance between 5 and 10 is 1 centimeter. You have to keep this in your mind. Clear? This is another example of bar graph. Are you getting it? Fine. So number of students who have passed have been represented here. You can see this time we have taken scale as 0 to 10, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50. Are you getting it? And the subjects are written on the y-axis. So if you read this, How many children are there who have passed in music? We'll drop a line like that. So there are 90 children who are passed in music. How many children are passed in maths? We'll see there are 40 children who are passed in maths. This way we can find out. It is very necessary to write what are you representing on x-axis, what are you representing on y-axis. Clear? Double bar graph. Double bar graph is represented this way. Sometimes we have, suppose there are two teams and their scores have to be measured. Okay. Or here the example which I have taken is a pre-test was conducted and the main test was conducted. For you, you can see that the scores of Google form and the scores of subjective test. Clear? So orange one is Google form and the green one is subjective test. Clear? So and these scores are written here: 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So Jeff, the name of child is Jeff. Okay. So how are we going to do it? We'll measure, see here they should take from 0 to 10, 20, 30. Okay, they have not represented 10, 20, 30. You have to represent. This is a mistake over here. Okay, because this picture has been downloaded from the net. Okay, so they should not write 0 to 40. After 40 they have taken 50. So this is a mistake over here. They after 0 they should take 10, 20, 30, then 40 will come. Are you okay? It will be little big, but doesn't matter. Clear? So you will take 1 centimeter gap, and then again you can draw this orange line within 0.5 centimeter also. You can take it as broad as 1 centimeter also. It is up to you. Fine. So Jeff has got 60 marks in Google form, and subjective test he has received 70 marks. Are you getting it? Then you will leave again 1 centimeter, then 0.5 centimeter broad, then 0.5 centimeter broad, then you will leave 1 centimeter. Are you getting it? This way you have to do it. We can have multiple bar graphs also. It is not necessary that only two. We can have three things also, as they have taken that number of university students enrolled in business majors. Okay, so the red one shows in Saudi Arabia, and the green one shows in Kuwait, and then the third one is Qatar. Fine. And years have been written that 2001 mein ye hai, 2002, 2003 and 4. Okay, so we can have multiple bar graphs also. I have taken question number 1 from your book. Okay, from your exercise. How will you do it? This is the exact graph paper which you are going to do it. You will use it. Okay, the complete block is of 1 centimeter. Okay, you can see from 0 to 5, this is what? 1 centimeter. Then 5 to 10, again 1 centimeter. So we'll draw lines like that. Horizontal line is known as x-axis and the vertical line is known as y-axis. Clear? I have taken 1 centimeter gap, then 1 centimeter for apple. Okay, for apple bar, and then 1 centimeter I have again left, skipped, and then for 1 centimeter orange bar. Okay, and the frequency have been written how? 0 to 5, 10, 15. Okay, so a gap of 5. Frequency can vary. You can take 0 to 10, 20, 30 also. Are you getting it? You have to see how many numbers are there and will they fit or not. Suppose they are very big, like 145, 130, 120. Then we cannot start the frequency from 0 to 5, 10. Then we should take 0 to 50, then 100, then 150. Okay, we can take this way also. But you have to always write scale, because we have not taken any scale on x-axis. Clear? We have just written the names of fruits on x-axis. So a scale is not required for x-axis. But for y-axis, because we are representing number of people, so we'll write the scale. What is the scale? 1 centimeter, 1 block. 1 centimeter is equal to 5 people. Clear? And this way we have drawn that apple is liked by 45, then orange is liked by 30, banana is liked by 20. This way you will to it.